So before I start telling you about task achievement or task response, I want to tell you we want to discuss the parameters. Basically, what are these are the bands on the left side. You can see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are the details. Like if you are given a 5 band in IELTS writing task 2, you have done this. For 6 bands, for 7 bands, for 8 and 9. There are like 4 parameters for writing, but today the agenda is only task achievement or task response. So we will not talk about the other parameters, which are, you already know, cohesion and coherence, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and task achievement. So most of the times students struggle with task achievement. So I want to discuss like what they expect you to do for a 7 band. So for like let's like we all are at the level of 6 or like between 6 and 7. So let me start with 6 because 5 is very, you can say, no, most of you are not planning for this band. So when you do 6, they say that you address all parts of the task, although some parts may be more fully covered than others. It means if there are 2 questions in the essay, you are giving focus to one question more than the other question. I recently evaluated one essay. In that essay, there was a double question. And then the student only answered the second part, is it a positive or negative development, and completely left the first one. So it means the task is not addressed properly. Okay, so then 6 or lesser bands you will get for that. Presents a relevant position, although the conclusions may become unclear. Sometimes whatever you want to say, they are unclear, like what is your exact position, and presents relevant main ideas, but some may be inadequately developed or unclear. Let me tell you, I ask you people, like if you give one idea, if you say that computers are important because we can do the work quite fast with them. So now you give an idea, you have to explain it, elaborate it. You cannot give, then don't write additionally and then give the second idea. I'll show you when I'll be doing the task. So ultimately, let's go to the 8 and 9. Sufficiently addresses all parts of the task. You have to address all the parts of the task. Presents a well-developed response to the question with relevant, extended, and supported ideas. I'll discuss everything. What is well-developed response with relevant and extended and supported ideas? What is extension and what are the supported ideas? Supported ideas are basically examples. This well-developed means you have given explanation or elaboration, and sufficiently addresses all parts of the task. It means you are giving answer to all the questions that are asked in an essay topic. All right. So this was the purpose, to show that whatever I'll be doing today, it is on the parameter of given by the like all the IELTS authorities. So any question by now? I know it's a bit again theoretical, but do you have any question before I start?
Yeah, no, hi, just one question here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a thin line between 7, 8, and probably 9. Okay, so how we can establish that it's a fully developed response, is a sufficiently developed response, or all parts of the response or question has been addressed?
Yeah. So the thin line, you are right. Like here they are saying that addresses all part of the task. It means that you are addressing it, but here you are sufficiently addressing it. You are giving answer to to both the question. Let's take an example of double question. There are 2 questions. You are giving answer to both the questions, but they are not equal, or weightage is not equal. But here on the 8 band, you are sufficiently, like there is no, examiner doesn't have any confusion about like you addressed or you discussed one idea less than the other. So it means sufficiently. There is no confusion that there was something left to be said or there is something left to be proved. Everything was proved. Everything is addressed for an 8 band sufficiently, carefully. Like definitely you say there is a thin line, but again that thin line is it's you can say the examiner will understand. Okay, you are completely fully addressing all the parts of the task. There is no doubt. Sufficiently means there is a little doubt. On 7 addresses all part of the task, there is some doubt, more than some you can say. And in 6, like there is a confusion about addressing the task. So the point is how you completely means for one you are writing 2 BP. In 1 BP you gave one idea, you elaborated it, and then you gave an example. That's fully addressed. In second BP, you gave an idea, you developed it, but you didn't give an example, or the example was not relevant. So it becomes a little less, like it becomes address all the parts, but not sufficiently. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
introduce an idea, then
Mm-hmm.
you can completely elaborate it and give an example. Then you can maybe there is some weakness in the idea or in the development. It's not completely elaborated, and you introduce the another idea. So it's the examiner who will evaluate like what is your performance on on addressing the like task. But I'll tell you how you can fully address all parts of the task. I'll discuss that, and I'll show you some examples also, like how if you do this it will be sufficient but not fully.
All right. Okay.
So I have a one question in addition to that, right? You said like address all the parts, right, of the task and sufficiently and fully address, right? So as I like what I have understood it, like you were saying that giving a topic idea and then adding some explanation and then moving further, providing a more detail like examples, right, which supports that idea, right?
Mhm.
And the like topic sentence. So
Yes.
that is essentially like sufficient idea or fully idea or address all part, like that is a point we have to understand over here.
So if I like rephrase your question, you
Yeah,
are saying that if I introduce a topic sentence, if I
yeah,
elaborate it and I give an example,
yeah,
does it fully address?
yeah, that was my question, whether it's for which category does it fall.
Yeah. So let me tell you, it's not only the body paragraph, it's the introduction, its body paragraphs, and its conclusion. Like you have to discuss about that particular task or particular question throughout your essay. It's
Mhm.
not only you are talking about it in the body paragraphs. You are giving a central idea, you are explaining it, elaborating it, and supporting with an example. That's okay. But is it matching with your what you said in the introduction? Are you giving a proper conclusion what you said in the introduction? So that means you are fully addressing it. Everywhere you are justifying it. It means that you are saying something in body paragraph, and in conclusion you are giving a new idea. So that becomes a challenge. So when we talk about fully address, it means throughout the essay you are doing a justice with your question. There is no confusion, there is no distraction.
Okay.
So I can maybe when I'll give you I'll write the essay, and then you'll be able to understand in a better way when I'll tell you that this what I mentioned in introduction, how it is going further to
Yeah,
conclude.
great. Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question, please? Okay. So I have these 3 essay topics I received from students. Please let me know on what topic you want me to write the essay.
We can understand by giving like any examples, right? The actually actual writing task too.
Mhm.
So we can talk about this, but it doesn't matter. Like this is the favorite one. That is enough.
Still, like I want, for some
Yeah.
people,
Okay.
one
Yeah.
aspect is difficult than the other. So if there is any choice out of these three, I can go ahead with that. Or if you want, you have some essay topic, you can message me through chat, and then I'll be taking that as an example. But again, that's a matter of different types of essays, structure of different types of essays. Today, I'll talk about task achievement. There are two major topics. One is task achievement. What should be your content, and another is structure. What should be your structure according to a type of essay? So today I'll only address task achievement because it is a big topic, and maybe some other day I'll talk about what are the different essays and then what are the structures according to the topics. So today I'll only discuss this task achievement. So any, I'll ask
So
last
the
time.
first one,
You
if
you
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 can,
want to discuss the first one?
yeah.
Let me tell you before I start doing like writing essay for this first one. Let me give you one information. Sometimes you have a lot of information in the question. Sometimes it's very less. Do you see the difference? This is a lot. If you paraphrase it, it will be like 43 words. This question is 43 words. If you paraphrase it, you don't need to give a background statement or a hook line. But here, if you see, if you paraphrase this, it's only 10 words, this question. So this is an idea for you. Like if the question in itself is very big, you don't need to give a background statement. But if the question is very small, then it will be a good idea to give a background statement. So that your introduction has at least 50 words. Is it
Can we
understood?
go
Is it
for
clear?
this? Can we go for the second one instead of the first? Because first of all, the sentence is too short, and second, it just says, "Do you agree?" So
Okay.
deciding the structure of this essay will be a little more difficult, I guess, for the second one.
Okay.
So the first one says like discuss both the views and then give the opinion.
Mhm.
So the structure can be okay, give first view, second view, and then the opinion. But
Yes.
for the second one, it just says, "Do you agree?" So
Okay.
if we can go for the
Sure.
second one.
I'll go with the second.
Before that, sir, I have a one doubt. Like I am just thinking about it. Uh, do we really need to bother about if we are getting a long, big sentence as questions, or we are getting like a small in just a one line, like a second one
Mhm.
and the third one. So do we need to really bother about that? Anything about it apart from task achievement when we are reading and when we are paraphrasing it, something?
Yeah, it's only one thing that you need to be careful of. That
Hmm.
sometimes what students do, if this is the question, because
Hmm.
they don't have much to paraphrase or write, they will start writing something unrelated, which will create confusion later on.
Okay.
That's one thing. That in small questions, it is very like you have to be very careful how to just stick to the answer because it's very specific. You don't have
Mhm.
much to say. For example, here you have a lot to say,
Yeah, we have a chunk of like so
chunk
many
of
workable
information. Yeah, you have like
information. Yeah.
two ideas.
Yeah,
This
right.
is one
And
idea.
that idea is even like a big information. While
Yes,
if I'll do a paraphrase, I'll get a more
you'll just
information.
get, yeah, if you just do paraphrasing and then just after that you just write before putting forth an opinion, comma, it is important to discuss both aspects of this argument. You paraphrase it and then you write that sentence. Your introduction is complete.
Yeah. Hmm.
But what to do in this case?
Hmm.
That's the challenge, and you have to be very careful. Whatever you write, that should be completely related to your essay question. You need not to bother about anything until you are writing related to the question. But once you start going here and there, then it becomes a concern.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay?
getting
So
it. Yeah.
otherwise, any question can come in exam. The only thing you need to be careful of, whatever you write is as per the demand of the question. You are not writing anything extra unnecessary. So you don't have to be really worried about it. The only thing is, in any situation, whatever you write is related to the question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll take this an example. So I hope you know that this is the question information and this is the instruction. Like this suggests us what we need to do. Do you agree or disagree? Do you agree? Or if they write, do you agree or disagree? It's the same thing. Okay. So now the question comes in my exam. Nowadays, media should include more good news in their publications. Do you agree? So I'll not start writing the essay immediately. I have to plan. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that is.
yeah. So what can be my plan? Okay. Nowadays, media should include more good news in their publications. All right. Let me tell you the structure of this essay. You need to write intro, BP1, BP2, and what's the last paragraph?
Conclusion.
This I am sure, like I know already what I'm supposed to do. So introduction, I need to write line.
Paraphrase. Thesis statement.
So I'll start thinking about this first. The hook line, I can give any general statement. Paraphrasing, I can just rewrite it in my words. But my main concern is what would be, should I agree with it? Should I disagree with it? Or should I partially agree with it? So, okay, I'll take your help also, and then I'll develop your own ideas. What do you think? I should completely agree? I should disagree or partially agree?
For me, like if I'll just break down that main questions, right? The one question nowadays, media should include more good news in their publication, right? So I need to first understand the good news, right, and the media. Like I just wanted to understand the questions. Once I'll get a clarity, what is the demand of question, then I'll say that yeah, I'll agree or I'll disagree, and I can plan my complete essay.
Okay.
So I'm saying yes, as per my opinion. Yeah, I can not opinion, like what I think about it. Yeah, we should say yes. I
So
agree.
I agree with the statement.
Yeah.
Sir, since the question is about the good news and it's a positive thing, so I think we should agree with this one.
Okay.
Well,
Sir,
I too agree with this one because just a moment. Because it is if there's more good news incorporated, people with the bad news have an anxiety and disheartening. So maybe more good news may have a good
Okay.
impact.
Problem here is like, do we need to really create a good news more, or good news something that it's automatically happen? We should not create good news.
Yeah, it's not like create good news. It's include more good news. It
Yeah,
include.
but how we can include it until and it is
No,
not gonna clear.
why should, not how. Why should they include? Why?
sir, I would say agree, but partially, I would partially agree because definitely focus on good news, but it should also be more like more real and more close to the like shouldn't be
Yeah,
something made up. So partially agree.
yeah, I should say yeah. This is
So
something
even I
also,
partially agree with it, sir. Because
because
if
this.
they give more bad news as well, we'll be aware of things happening around us. So should be both
It's a kind
good
of
and bad.
mix of both things,
Mhm.
and we should focus on the reality. What is the real thing happening around it?
So means if you partially agree, you do two things. You agree also and you disagree also.
Yes.
In agreement, what would be, why would you agree? Means why media
Spread
should,
positivity.
sorry,
Spread positivity among the reader.
positivity? Okay. What, what other ideas, like why you should agree with the, that include media should include more good news? Why you should agree with that?
I'm still thinking.
Well, because gives a positive impact. I mean, a person who is reading, always getting a negative news might have. That's like getting equal related. Kind of positive news gives like, okay, this is happening, is something good, and it gives a good impact for as a human. Always getting a bad news is not good as well. So equally distributed, I could say.
Let
So
me
there
tell you
could
one
be
more thing before you give me any idea. Let me tell you one more thing. See, if it is talking about media should include more good news, okay, you have to explain this idea. You need not to explain that if media include the bad news, this happen, people will get depressed, people will get anxious.
Yeah, right. That
Again,
was a
most of the
point.
people
Yes.
student do this. If they don't do it, this will happen. Your task is not, if they include bad news, what will happen. Your task is not that. Your task is, if they, why they should include more good news. This is your task.
And over here, we are. I think I need to add as well in their publication, right?
Mhm.
In their publication is also important, so that they can sell. Like it's all about the selling, right? Selling a news
Mhm.
content, like throwing in a air, right?
Mhm.
So in their publication is also important. Media, publication, and good news. Three pillars are there for these questions. So we should always move around it, or we should always uh, um, jump around three pillars: media, good news, and publication.
No, publication is just like whether it is TV, print media. So whatever the,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's internet, social media, right?
so
Digital
what do you think?
media.
Like, the thing is, the, if what you want to say, like the sale will be high if they do that.
I mean, that's impartially if they are being a very real,
Mhm.
so that it is helpful for their publication, their media house, and people will watch more and more, and they can create a good content, and like that is a good content.
Yeah, let me again tell you one more thing. Whenever you develop an idea,
Hmm.
see it in a broad context. Like, broad context means not only the benefit of the media people, like their more sale, their more publications, everything. Your idea should be more towards the general, like overall impact on the society.
So I had a question.
Yes,
Is partially agree same as neither agree nor disagree?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or agree or disagree both. You agree also and you disagree also.
So if you want to say that there should be a balance between positive and like not negative, but because sometimes the reality can be negative, but if I want to say that there should be like a balance between good or bad, or just bring the reality rather than being too negative or too positive about something,
Mhm.
does that mean neither agree nor disagree?
Yes,
Okay.
but because it is, the question is, do you agree? You should say I agree also, and I partially agree means, yeah, the same thing. Whether you can say neither agree nor disagree, or I agree as well as I disagree.
My
So,
point, yeah, one thing, yeah, I listen. You said one thing. Sorry to interrupt you. One thing is they are saying include more good news.
mhm,
I mean, we have listening a good news, but they are focusing on more good news.
mhm.
I'm not sure about they have they are talking about the bad news as well or not,
Okay.
but they are saying include more good news.
Yeah. So
As of now, if I can assume, like in the current situation nowadays, we have a good news, but they are saying that we should promote more good news
mhm,
to their publication.
okay.
So we should not fall into that negative aspect of that, like
Yes.
negative, like bad news.
So not bad news. There are two aspects of it. Include more good news or include only real news. Why to add more good news? We should, whatever is the situation, like if they 50%, if good thing happen, they should show it. If bad thing happens, they should show it. The real situation of the society. They should not, like for example, let me tell you, Dainik Bhaskar in India, it was a newspaper. It is a newspaper, and it started like on Monday. Its first page will only be the good news. There will be no negative news on the first page. So whether it is right or wrong, because sometimes there is a
What
big
is
tragedy.
the what do you like? I want to understand what is bad news
Negative
for
news
me.
like crime, rape, robbery,
But that's
murder.
a real, but that's a real news. But
Yeah,
how
but
we
they
can say
say,
that that is,
yeah,
yeah.
you are, see, I understand that. But again, my point would be we will not discuss what is our opinion they should do. We
Mhm.
will discuss like what is our argument. Like if we have to discuss it whether we agree or we disagree or partially agree. So if we agree with it, very fast we have to find two good reasons why they should go find a they should include the good news. And if we partially agree, we should identify two ideas now. One is with agreement, one is with disagreement.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go ahead with the partial agreement, because mostly you are saying that let's go with the partial agreement. So now my task is, what if you agree, why do you agree? Why more good news in the media?
Motivating and inspiration to the community, to the youngsters, to telling about some achievement of any youth.
Good. So we are coming to the point. Like now, if now I'm getting the idea. Okay, if more good news, now I need to see the explanation also. If more,
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
yes.
One thing, like, see, good news in broad context, right? Uh, in which uh, area should I consider good news? In a broad way, like it's very generic, right? So do I need to be very specific
Yes.
and give a one example on that? Because
Yes.
I'm seeing that, yeah, motivation, good impact, and positivity. Yeah, this is very generic, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, good news always impact this one. Do I need to tell anyone? Do I need to write it? Yeah, this is good news. Now you will be happy. It's always good news, and that's why you are happy, and everyone is happy.
Yeah, from generic to specific. You have from
Yeah.
general to specific. You need to tell only one idea why good news in media, more good news in media. Just one idea, which is specific idea.
So, like, it can be a development of society, right?
No, it is too generic. If I say what is the benefit of mobile, if I say it is very useful, that's not a specific answer. If I say mobile helps me to talk to my relatives, there are so many benefits of a mobile phone. But
So,
I have to only give one idea. I need to
so
tell that it helps me to communicate with my relatives. Then I'll develop it because I live in abroad. I'm not able to connect with them. I'll not able to visit my country, my home country. So the when I have a mobile phone, I can call my family anytime, and this way I can feel socialized and connected to my family members. So see, they'll ask like mobile phone is good for the society. Do you agree? So for example, this is the question. You cannot give like it is very useful, it has so many benefits. You don't discuss all the benefits. Just this, let me go it again. Presents a clear position, presents, extend, and supports main idea. Your main idea. What is your main idea? Your main idea should be specific, not generic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And if you tendency to overgeneralize means a generic thing. Don't be generic. Be specific. You don't have to give so many reasons, so many ideas. Just find out one idea. Okay, if this one student discussed that, okay, motivation to the youngsters. Okay, now I am going from positivity, good impact, motivation. I am being specific, and that would be my main idea. Once I get my main idea, my specific idea, I got the central idea of my baby.
Sir, if there will be so many good news, then the people will feel safe actually.
What will happen? Sorry.
If there will be so many good news in the
Mhm.
newspaper,
Mhm.
then the people will feel safe. See, if there are so many bad news like crime, rape, robbery, then you cannot go outside. You will feel unsafe in the atmosphere.
Okay.
So, though, if there
Don't
will
you
be,
think it is like they are falsely thinking safe because they are nobody is reporting robbery, killing, and everything, and people have only good news. And for example, nowadays coronavirus is there, and everywhere good news, and people are not aware about how what is happening with the corona, how fast it is spreading. So again, I don't want to argue with your idea. You have a good idea. Like people, this can also be, if I can explain it, if I if I can explain how people will be more safe, then it is a good central idea. I have to explain it, not only giving one idea. Just the
Mhm.
introduction of one idea is not sufficient. At the same time, you have to think, how will I explain it? How will I justify? If you can justify that people will feel safe and people will be safe, then it is okay. This safety idea is good.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, if I say, if more good news, optimism, and motivation to the youth to be better.
So I would like to ask, when if this is all we are planning, so we just have to do everything, this kind of planning before writing an essay. I mean, everything, sentence making and all this body paragraph, we have to write it down on paper. Then we need to start writing. Is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's why the task achievement is not up to the mark, because we don't plan that much. Do you think how much time we are taking to just to plan that what will be our central idea and how will we explain it? If you
Uh-huh.
plan it, you, you don't need you are not worried about writing. Then if, for example, first 10 minutes you just plan everything, then you just have to write. Then there is no you will not spend time on thinking again, because you have already planned your uh, central idea, your explanation. Example you can plan later on, because example you will get an idea while you are writing your explanation, then you can think of the example. You don't need not to think about the example in the beginning, but you have to.
Well, mhm. First we need to plan like thesis, and then we need to plan for the body paragraphs.
Yes,
Then we need to start writing. Is it?
yes, definitely,
Mhm.
this is the process.
All
If
right.
you don't do it, don't expect that you will be able to write a band 7s, or those who are very good in like their planning, those who can just start writing and like they don't
Mhm.
need plan, they can plan anytime, they are so brilliant or intelligent that. But for me, if I talk about myself, I have to plan, because I don't want that in the middle of the essay I feel, oh my god, I don't think that this is a right idea, and then half time is gone, and then what would I do?
Yeah, that's right.
So for me,
Hmm.
I have to plan,
Yeah.
and you should also plan. Planning is always better. If you listen to some videos or
Yeah.
those who
No,
write
I
seven
was
or eight.
I was just thinking like self develop. I mean, I thought like planning is only based on just one topic on this one. Okay, body paragraph we'll need to write this one, and in second body paragraph only just two key points we have to plan, and then we need to start? Or is it like how you're doing it, it's like sentence formation and this points you're going to incorporate into
Yes, sentence formation I am doing here so that I can understand how will I explain it, because explanation is very important, because I can give any idea. For example, you guys have given positivity one idea, good impact one idea, motivation another idea, safety another idea, so many ideas. But which one is the best idea for in terms of explanation? Because which one I can explain very easily or logically,
Mm-hmm.
that is more important.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I have developed and explained some of my uh, agreement stuff. Now tell me why not more good news? You have to give reasons for this.
Hmm.
So that people are aware about the real world.
Mhm.
And
Why?
real world
Why?
is always not more.
Why they should
Okay.
know about real world?
In order to prevent
Whatever
themselves
mishappenings. Yeah,
from,
go ahead.
in order to prevent themselves from the dangers happening around them.
Yeah, good. Safety
Mishappenings.
idea can come here. Like if people are not aware about, if they only hear the good news, like if they include more good news and not the real news, they may not know what kind of dangers are there in the society, which they have to prepare in advance.
Yes, sir. Like the internet uh, frauds are in the world, in the today's world is happening. So if we don't know how their modus operandi,
Mhm.
then how can we prevent those things?
Yeah. So who is responsible for giving the actual news? Media.
Media.
Yes.
And why we
Mm.
should be aware about the actual news, so that we can plan in advance for our safety. We can plan in
Security,
advance. For example, if
safe.
media is giving the information about the real news, for example, nowadays very good example of coronavirus, so that people can, if they already know that there will be a lockdown, what will happen? They will,
People will be more informative on the real
yeah,
scenario.
they can plan better way to adjust their lives in a proper way.
We can pre-plan certain things.
Yes, and we can plan certain things so that we can be safe. Only good
It
news
should
can
be
cover
something
the,
like everyone should be well prepared of that actual scenario
yes, for the
by
safety.
having,
Let's let's
yeah,
talk in
consider
terms of safety.
safety and security.
Mhm. Now you got your two ideas. Now you can go ahead with the planning is done. Let me go with the hook line. Maybe I'll start writing. Need sorry. What is a generic statement? Media is considered. Is my generic statement? Do you
Sir,
think it's
instead of society, can we say a mirror of any social issues?
no? It's a mirror of society. Social issue. Wow. How do you think like it's the
Like whatever is happening around us, the media will obviously reveal all those in the newspaper or
yeah?
any.
So whatever is happening in the society, media represents that.
Yeah.
So that's why I have used this society word, because social issues is one thing. But if it is not a social issue, it's an entertainment issue, or so it is the whatever is happening in the society, media reflects that. Okay.
I agree.
There is no good news and something like that, or it's a very hook line. It's a
Yeah,
only
it's a
hook
hook
line,
line.
right?
So that's why I did not. It's a general statement, hook line or general statement.
So hook line should also consider the all the major major information from the question,
What
like
do you mean?
media, news, and publication, right?
Yeah, it should be the like. That's why it will create interest in the examiner that what you are
Yeah.
going to say next.
So media is considered the mirror of any society. Yeah, I know, but what is role of media? Like, are we considering the good news or bad news
No,
over
no,
here?
that I'll not discuss here in generic statement. Why I'll be biased? That I need to discuss in the thesis statement.
Okay.
For example, I always give the example of man is a social animal. You don't get any idea about whether you are talking about in a good sense or bad sense about man. So man is a social animal. You are just giving a general statement about it. So now I'm only saying that I'm setting a background state, like background of the question, that now I have said that media is considered the mirror of society. Mirror of society. Some people believe that media.
Can I say like good news and like media? Okay, you write it. I'm still thinking. Yeah.
Uh, Media should.
Broadcast.
Broadcast is like only the. I was going to write that, but
Okay.
broadcast is only for TV. But I was thinking
Okay.
about the.
Include. Yeah, yeah.
That's why I changed it. So I am very
Okay.
careful about whether that's why it was a good word. Any student will immediately write it like let me write broadcast because it's a good word, but I don't want to write it because I know that it's not be appropriate.
Okay.
media should always include Media should include more positive news. Yeah.
Instead of negative.
Not instead negative, they did
Yeah.
not ask about anything.
In their content or in their like 24 cross 7 time, we can say,
No,
like
20
whenever they are presenting, they should
in
they
their
should
content,
think about.
like whatever is their content, there should be more positive news
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this is my
Um,
hook line. This is my. Am I missing anything in the paraphrasing?
sir, I would like to ask you. It's like whenever you get that discussion essay, like saying that some people believe this and while the other people believe this. But over here in this paraphrasing thing, it's not mentioned anything like some people believe. It's a general one, like most of them believe or majority of them believe. So how can we put
No,
as some
why
people
do you
believe?
need why do you need to write like majority, most? What is the
Yeah,
what
so
is
that's what I wanted to ask. Is it like if we write some people, so it's like, is it exact paraphrasing of the question?
okay? So good idea.
So for nowadays, we can use like in this contemporary era or this modern world, something like which indicates the current scenario.
Okay, so you are giving me the ideas. So I am just writing it. If it suits the sentence, go ahead with it. But unnecessary, unrelated material should not be there. Do you see how to the point it is? Like the paraphrasing.
Yeah.
So it is that easy to write an introduction. Like just now, you can write, however, I partially agree with this argument and the reasons.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. This is
Yes.
not argument, right? So why should we use the word argument here?
Any, and this is argument means any, they are presenting an argument, they are presenting an idea. Okay, but if you say
You
that,
said a statement.
yeah,
It's better to a
it doesn't make
statement.
any
Yeah.
difference. Argument doesn't mean like fight. Argument is only an idea basically. For the same are presented. See, this is the introduction because you have already.
Like following paragraphs or following essay, like in this essay.
Following paragraphs. Essay you started from media only.
Okay, like
Essay.
sometimes I, what I've read, like the people said like, yeah, I'll discuss both this thing in this essay.
No, essay started from there. This is
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It is not the part of essay.
Yeah, you were right. I'm just saying that I have observed those kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
good feedback. Like, but I would suggest everyone not to write essays because your essay started from the first sentence. Okay, and then
Yeah.
Sir, this thesis statement is actually a general one. So how can we write a specific thesis statement? Can you please give an example for that also?
if you want to write very specific,
Yeah.
I can write it, but I am just only wondering, like it may confuse some people. So I'll do one thing. I'll just have one session on how to write a specific statement. Because I don't want to confuse some people. I can write it here. Okay, if you want an example, I can give it. But those who don't get confused, partially agree, like this generic thesis is also okay. Let me tell everyone this is also okay. For 7.5, 8 bands also people will write it. But if you have you have planned everything, so you may try writing a specific thesis statement, and let me try for that. I partially agree with this statement because along spreading positivity through news media should also inform people about situation safety and security.
Okay, so this is fine. Thank you.
I'll take out people from here. So this is my specific statement. Now I am talking about they should, along with spreading positivity. So this is my one paragraph, and this is my second paragraph idea of my, because I have already planned. Without planning, you cannot write specific statement, thesis statement. Because you are only giving a little bit idea what you are going to discuss. You cannot give complete idea or complete, you cannot explain it in a thesis. It's just like the examiner will understand, okay, now you are talking one side, you are talking about the like good news is spreaded, like positivity is spreaded through good news, and then other side, if they need to present a real situation for the security and safety of people, so he'll get an idea. So definitely, if you write this thesis statement, this this you can definitely, this will fetch more score definitely. But some people, what they do in the attempt of writing a specific thesis statement, they write something else here, and in their paragraphs they are writing something else, so that becomes inconsistent with what you claimed and what you are proving, and that's why they end up in less score. Is it making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me take this out for the time being. First I'll keep it here for, all right. Is the introduction clear to everyone, how to write an introduction?
Yes, sir.
Because I am again and again reflecting, thinking, is this word okay? Is this sentence okay? I'm not only fascinated by some words. Okay, I found a good word. Let me push it, just intrude it in anyhow in the sentence. No, if I have a good word that will really fit to the sentence, I'll use it. Otherwise, I see so many difficult words and which are not appropriate and take uh, attention of the examiner. So you should not do that. If you have a very good word and you know how to use it, then only use a difficult word. Otherwise, you can avoid it. And I hope in this introduction, every word is simple. There is no very difficult word. Shall we go
I
ahead
think,
with? Yeah,
sorry, I think we should go ahead with the specific thesis line, because that will tell us how to stick to the point in body paragraphs. And
but did not you
uh,
plan already? Like, what is your agreement
yeah,
or
we
what?
did plan. So that's why if we write that in the planning in the thesis line, how do we stay to the point in our body paragraphs? That is something we can learn today. I mean, this is
Okay,
my personal
definitely.
opinion. If
Why not?
Because this we already know that if we write the basic, the generic thesis line, we need to introduce our first agree idea in the body paragraph one and the disagreed idea in the body paragraph two. That we already know. So this is something new, which I think, excuse me.
Maybe.
Yes, yes, even I agree with what she said, because I'm sure that most of them know about these ones. Like this is what we are going to write about. So if we are more inclined towards
Okay, sure. Why not? So now I changed this spreading positivity. I change motivating youth through goodness. I'm being more specific because I'm talking about motivation of the youth finally. So I am changing. I have changed it. Spreading positivity. I have changed that with motivating youth through good news.
But for that, we need to plan before writing that one, right? Thesis
Yeah.
statement.
Yes,
And
and
we
you have to be
must
very
be,
very.
yeah, we must be very careful on that. Like, I have never done this way. Even I support, like, yeah, few people agree that we should write a very specific one and we should do that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also thinking that this is the good example and we should write this way. But the point over here is like we should be very careful moving ahead,
Yeah.
like
Again,
writing a
like
paragraph,
I
and
already.
what are the tips and tricks how we can plan it, how we can do it. That is also important.
Yes,
Uh,
we have to think a lot. We have to analyze, and
hmm.
uh, we have to be very very specific about. Uh, we have, when we think again and again, analyze, then definitely everyone will be able to come up with a good idea. But again, the idea should give an example of include more good news. Why? Because it motivates the youth to be good citizens, and not include because there should be a real situation for the safety and security. So these two
I have a
questions.
one. Yeah, I have a one. Sorry to interrupt. I have one question.
Yeah.
If I'm writing this kind of thesis, how much I can score? What is the like probability? Is it gaining a more like higher score. See, I know score is there, but the maintain through consistency. I'm not a like this is this can be something very personal to me, but over here I'm expecting more and more something, right, every time. So how it's increasing the band score by just having this thesis line and maintaining those consistency further in body paragraph in conclusion as well.
Okay. So means if you
And I
write
think
a specific thesis,
yes,
how much
yes,
helpful it is to you
yes,
to get a
yeah. I
higher.
need to think about it. Otherwise, what will happen? I have 40 minutes, and if I'm thinking that I'll more practice over here in my home as well and do more practice, but at the end, exam pressure and everything, how much I am able to convert it, that is important. And this is my it is something. It's my personal question, but yeah,
No, thanks for this question, Mukesh, because I believe this is applicable to everyone. So the only thing is whatever I am doing here, you need to do it in your practice. And if you are able to do everything in within 40 minutes, then you can go ahead with a specific thesis statement. But if it is taking a lot of time for you to write it, go with the generic statement. If you talk in terms of bands,
yeah,
the answer is like, for example, sometimes I give 6.75 bands to some students. So it may add up a little to be a little higher side, and you can get a 7 band because of only this reason. But only a thesis statement will not decide like 0.5 bands for you. It is the overall structure, overall content. You will get the bands upon your overall content, but definitely there would be a little bit addition because of a specific accurate thesis statement. It can be opposite also. If you write inaccurate thesis statement and rest of the things are good, it can hamper your uh, score. So I would suggest you uh, write it, you send the essay to me, as you already doing it to as you already doing it. So you send it to me, I'll let you know that whether it is accurate or inaccurate, first thing. Second thing, and you need to see like how much time it is taking, because sometimes just in writing the hook line or the general statement, some students spend 5 minutes. So I would say don't do that, because 5 minutes you can do a lot of things. You can review your at the end of your essay, you can review your essay, and that hook line is not for the marks, it's just for the setting up the tone for the essay. Because your paraphrasing is mandatory, thesis statement is mandatory, hook line is not mandatory. So don't waste so much time on writing a hook line statement. If you find it very easily, like it was in my mind, media is considered the mirror of any society, it was already in my mind, so I just wrote it within 15 seconds. But if I need to think for 2 3 minutes just to write this sentence, I'll not write it. I'll just directly paraphrase, write the thesis statement, and go ahead with the bps. So my answer is it can have a little addition, but you have to wait weigh the other aspect also, like your time and your accuracy.
okay, I got your consensus, and I understood, like, yeah, these are the points. And yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to think in that way, but definitely we can do a more practice and we can come to the conclusion, like,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, yeah. Thank
So
you, sir. Thanks for giving me the explanation. Yeah, thank you.
welcome. So let's come to the BP1. Introduction is done. So BP1 is my main idea is here I can write to begin with. When the TV channels or other uh, maybe I can say when the TV channels and print media add positive. Uh, Now we can use the word broadcast. channels broadcast positive information motivates the youth what imitate to begin with, when the TV channels broadcast positive information, it motivates the youth to direct their energy towards uh, good behavior. To begin with, when the TV channels broadcast positive information, it motivates the youth to direct their energy uh, towards doing something better for their society. In other words, is accept that young generation follows the media very closely, try imitate. So there is uh, the mistake. Uh, and when G News showed the so that celebrity are joining in India movement. Um, listed one G News showed that celebrities are joining the Clean India movement. About number of young people joined this movement. So the content can be definitely better, but I want to show you how I am explaining my idea. So this is to begin with, when TV channels broadcast positive information, it motivates the youth to direct their energy towards doing something better for the society. So this is my central idea. Then I explain it. In other words, it is accepted that young generation follows the media very closely and try to imitate it. Because whatever is done in the media, they try to do that. So if they see the optimistic information around them, they will follow it. To illustrate, when the G News showed the celebrities are joining the Clean India movement, a number of young people joined in this movement. Or it can be better, like it can be some better words here. What can be the synonym for movement? Campaign. Yeah, so this is my central idea. This is my explanation. And this is my example. If you have any question, please let me know. Before this, I should have discussed the for BP, for any BP, the structure is, Mukesh, what is the structure?
Topic, sentence, explanation.
Topic, sentence.
Example.
I was on mute. Yes, sorry.
Nature.
Topic, sentence, or central idea. Don't
Central
forget
idea.
it is the central idea also. Okay,
Central
it
idea.
sentence also and central idea also. Then after that,
explanation, and then
Example.
supporting idea.
Elaboration. I'll call
Elaboration.
it elaboration also, because you need to elaborate it.
Yes.
And then example.
Example.
So this is my structure for every BP. This will be the structure for every body paragraph. So do you see? Now I am explaining media should include more good news, because how I am answering it? Because when the TV channels broadcast positive information, it motivates the youth to direct their energy towards doing something better for their society. In other words, I can say better for the society. In other words, it is accepted that young generation follows the media very closely and try to imitate it. So if they see the optimistic information around them, they will follow it. To illustrate, when the G News showed that celebrities are joining the Clean India movement, a number of young people joined in this campaign. So it is the outcome. Like it's a real life situation. Examples are real life situation. From real life, I am supporting my idea. I am supporting this explanation and this idea with my real life example. That's why we call it example. And how many words? Let me tell you. This is 80 words. My introduction is 55. 85 plus 55, 135. 80 plus 35, I think 135. So now I have to write another BP also and conclusion. I'll easily reach to 270 to 80 words. So by now, any confusion with this?
No.
Is it that clear?
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yes.
In question, they have given about media. They didn't specify any, like for example, they didn't specify TV channels or newspapers. So in that case, should we mention TV channels broadcast? Like we should specify in the BP one.
Yeah, we can give specific, like it is also synonym for an extraction of that media only. But if you still want to add some more,
or if can we say like when media such as TV channels?
and you don't use broadcast, you say share. Share means it can be broadcast, it can be publication, it can be anything.
Okay.
So do you see how carefully I choose a word? How carefully, if I am talking about TV channels and print media, then I'll take out the broadcast word and I'll use the other word here. So this is your lexical resources, that how appropriately you are using a particular word. Is it clear so that I can go to the BP2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the structure for BP2? Same structure?
Same structure.
So because I said here to begin with, and now I am giving a opposite idea. I'll write
Conversely.
conversely, if the news agencies only share positive news stories, it may become a and do not show the real life situation to its audience, become a threat to masses. To the safety and security of masses. So, do you see how I shared the how I introduced my central idea here? Now, news, I have used this word for news because I don't want to use again news and news again.
Yeah, I got it.
Or maybe share I have used, I'll show. Or discuss. Means anything you feel.
So the news agency is the right word, right?
Yeah, news agency is yeah, because any news agency, it is print media, it is social media, like anything. Basically, here it is the media. So you have to use some very nearby words, like very related words.
Close synonyms.
Close words. You are
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's the right word for it. So, do you see how clear it is? There is no confusion about the central idea, because I had already discussed the central idea. I have already in my plan that I'll discuss it. We have already planned that this will be my safety and security. Now I need to explain it, how it is a threat to the safety and security. Sometimes there is a real challenge in the world, such as flood, what you call earthquake, maybe flood, pandemic, and other emergency.
So can we say instead of flood, can we say natural disasters?
Sure, why not?
So flood, earthquake, so
Yeah,
all those
I
come
use
under.
that natural disaster will cover everything. So I wanted to uh, use some word that I can use for if I'm using other emergency situations, so it doesn't clash with natural disaster. But we can definitely say that. Natural disaster is different, like a flood, earthquake.
Okay. Since all those things comes under this category, I just asked
Yeah,
you.
another situation. Sometimes there is a real challenge in the world, such as natural. There are real challenges in the world, because I am here. I am using so many challenges. Okay. Real challenges in the world, such as natural disaster, pandemic, and other emergency situation. Here, it is the responsibility of media to inform people so about it, so they can plan for their safety. You have to use this word, safety. So now I'm just giving explanation that there are some real challenges, and it is the responsibility of the media to inform people about it so that they can plan for their safety. Is it okay, or any doubt about it?
It's fine, sir. Can we write here it is the responsibility of media to spread awareness about it instead of to inform people? As in, I'm just asking if this is correct. I know we can write a lot of things, but
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is the
to
responsibility of
spread
media to
awareness.
aware people about it so that they can plan. Spread awareness, just say
Okay.
media to aware people. To aware is like, awareness is something long term. Like spread awareness is long term, but to make people aware so that they can plan immediately.
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm. Example, I have few example in my mind. I'm planning which one will be good. Like one example is coronavirus. Like if people are aware and then that they should use mask and everything, and because of that, uh, a lot of people could save themselves from getting infected. This is one example in my mind. And the other example is in Canada, there was a shooter who started shooting people, and media informed this, like shared this news on the news channels, and then people were in their house and they did not come out, so that a number of lives were saved. So I was just thinking like which example I should share here. What do you think? Or if you have any example, I'm okay with that.
I think the pandemic one.
Pandemic is yeah. Pandemic.
Yeah.
Everyone is getting everyone was curious and is still curious. So pandemic is one of good
And
example
media,
you can add.
when every news now, I am just channels. Now I can use broadcast. Let me know if this is.
We use COVID-19 or coronavirus.
Coronavirus is like you can write anything nowadays. Everyone knows about it, so it's not. I don't think it's from COVID-19. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, any doubt about it?
Oh, it's clear to me.
So now I'll come to the conclusion now. So you see this. I'm taking out everything so that I'm not confused. Now I'm coming to the conclusion. So after planning, it didn't take much time.
Yeah.
So do you see how smooth everything is? Nobody can say that I am answering this question only. They should include more good news or not. Now I gave a background statement, paraphrasing, clear thesis statement. The first BP is on one side, the other BP is on the other side. So now to conclude, although media should have more what you call that nowadays they share about success stories or more examples of good deeds in their country. Although media should have more examples of positive optimism. What can be the other word?
Affirmative.
Sorry,
Affirmative.
I didn't get you.
Affirmative.
Affirmative. Affirmative is like a bit not that accurate here. To conclude, although media should have more examples of
Optimistic.
optimism.
Positive. Yeah.
Optimism. It should also present realistic, realistic news to people for a number of reasons. Now, more of optimism to motivate the young blood. So I am trying like to add content of my my paragraphs, so that I'm not only generic, I'm being very specific. It should also present realistic news to people, including saving, informing them about dangerous situations and future media may think about having a kind of positive and clear news and its yeah. So maybe it can be better, but definitely you will definitely get a 7 band for this essay. Maybe you can get 7.5 as well. No doubt, nobody can stop you.
It's really super awesome. Like I can say super awesome, because the way it's when I started reading, like when I'm reading from top to bottom, right?
Mhm.
I can find the vision, like yeah, this thing mentioned over here, and the explanation and the content, the cohesion point, everything is managed. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good
So the thing is,
explained. Yeah.
everyone can do it. The only thing is, because you have to think again and again, whatever I'm doing, am I right or wrong? Like, see, now this is the I elaboration of every aspect, like positive, the real, and the nothing is left in the air. You can see that. Every
Sir,
aspect. Yeah.
sir, this the last paragraph is a conclusion, and the second last is BP2, and that one is BP1.
Yes. This is introduction, BP1, BP2, and conclusion. These are the 4 paragraphs.
Okay, okay.
And I
Deep Harsh here.
yes. Yeah.
I have one question. The topic for the essay is like generic, but in the entire essay, like we have focused on young people only, maybe young generation, young blood.
Yeah, it was
So
only. Yeah, please complete your question. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, so is it good if we are just targeting a few people or maybe just a section of the society?
Yes, it is good, because you cannot. There can be 10 or 100 regions, but you have to give only one. What is central idea? Central idea is one specific idea which you elaborate and prove. There can be 100. How will you write so many? Means you cannot write so many specific examples. That's one thing. And if you become generic, you'll not be able to elaborate it, or you'll not be give a specific example of it. Because example, whenever you give an example, you have to be specific. So,
No.
so my what I can tell you, you also see the 9 band essays, and for such some question, and you will see it's always good to be specific, because why they should include more good news. I'm telling them they should give good news, so that people, young people, can just do good things. I have given one example, one idea. I explained it. I supported with a relevant idea. So that's enough for the examiner.
Okay.
Okay. So being specific is not bad. Like rather, you have to be specific to make your point clear to the examiner.
So, I would like to ask if we use the word as in, you have used it to conclude, although media should have more examples. If we use the word like stories or reports, is it fine for that?
Actually, I use stories here. This.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
So that's why
reports and
yeah. So
uh-huh.
I didn't want to use it again.
And I didn't get the last line. So in future, media may think.
Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for.
All right.
Yeah, this is the part of, thank you so much. This is the part of review. Now my task is I need to read everything, and then only I'll say my essay is complete. Did you see? I completed my essay, but I did not review it, and you reviewed it. It means there can be still some mistakes that you identified just now. So this is the part of reviewing and proofreading your essay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, any other question before I conclude?
So it's all
Not
good to
now,
me.
not now.
Okay.
I mean, from my side, I got a much clarity
Yeah. So
for
what I wanted to
task
tell you,
achievement.
like, if the uh, structure is clear in your mind, and if you plan in an advanced way, you have already planned, like what would be the content of your BP1, what would be the content of your BP2. Once you have that clarity, it will be easy for you to write, and every sentence should be answering the question, explaining the key question. So there is a structure now. There is a flow. You can see there is a flow in this, what we call cohesion coherence, and you can see the cohesive devices to begin with. In other words, conversely, to conclude. Okay, so everything is, for example, to illustrate everything, like you don't need so many cohesive devices. 6, 7 are enough. See the flow, see the content, see the uh, relevance, or to the point. No, you will not find any sentence which is not answering the question, essay question. So please start writing this way, plan in advance. You can write better than me. I know some students have very good vocabulary and everything, but I try to be simple, not very high five words or difficult words. This is my way. So please, I just want to tell you the process and the content. So I hope I'm able to do that. So I'm very grateful for your time. And my request is to you, immediately after this session, please share your feedback in the group. And maybe next time I'll be discussing about the different types of essays and what will be the structure according to that type of essay.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward for the type of essay.
Definitely. So
For
thanks.
me, like, yeah, for me, the next part is very important as well.
Yeah, I know that these two
If you
things are
say
very
to,
important. One is
yeah,
task achievement.
to,
Second is, according to every
because
type of essay, how to structure your.
yeah, because if we can consider that example you said, like, do you agree or disagree, we have to take a one side or both side, right?
Yes.
And we don't need to provide opinion over here, right?
Mhm.
But there are discursive and there are comparative, right?
Mhm.
Those are something which we need to understand.
Yeah, you can easily understand. There are only 4 types. So I have,
Mhm.
you may see in my video also on YouTube, but I know that when we discuss it directly, then we get more
Yeah,
clarity.
what, yeah, video I see the types and everything, but how to take a clear position on paper, I
Mhm.
mean on example doing that.
That
So
is
that is
important.
also very important.
Sure, definitely. I'll have very soon. I'll be having a
but
session on
but
that.
so far this was very informative, and I've never been gone through such a details. This like the first time I'm going through this kind of a session, and it's really changed my thought process and the way I was thinking before. Yeah.
Thank you. So everyone, I again request you, please immediately share your feedback on the group, and thank you so much for patiently listening to me, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
Thank
much,
you.
much.
sir.
Bye
And
bye.
thank you everyone, thanks a lot. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks,
Thanks.
great.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.